wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Hey, welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve coming to you from my Stoa in Conway, Arkansas. And the purpose of this podcast is to explore the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. Lately, we have been going through the book known as the Enchiridion, or the Handbook of Epictetus. Not directly written by Epictetus, but instead these are summaries of lecture notes from one of his students. Epictetus was a philosopher who was ostracized from Rome. He was kicked out from Rome and forced to teach in Greece. And he was a former slave, and eventually his teachings even influenced a Roman emperor. So it's kind of amazing how a slave was essentially a teacher to an emperor. The two never met, but Epictetus was the emperor's teacher much in the same way that he is our teacher today. So according to the Stoics, the person who commits an infraction against someone else is the one who is harmed. So if you lie, if you cheat, if you hit someone, you are the one who has been harmed. Your goodness is tainted. Whereas the person who has been cheated or has been hit can only be harmed if they assent to the idea that they have been harmed. Yes, they've been punched or they've been cheated, but they don't have to say, oh, I am hurt, I am harmed forever. And I don't mean physical hurt, but I mean some kind of emotional response that causes them to feel hurt, something that they'll cling to for years to come, flash back to, bring up again and again. They don't have to do that if they don't want to, according to the ancient Stoics. So let's hear from Epictetus, the Enchiridion, on this very topic. Chapter 42. When a man speaks evil, or does evil to you, remember that he does or says it because he thinks it is fitting for him. It is not possible for him to follow what seems good to you, but only what seems good to him, so that if his opinion is wrong, he suffers, and that he is the victim of deception. In the same way, if a composite judgment, which is true, is thought to be false, it is not the judgment that suffers, but the man who is deluded about it. If you act on this principle, you will be gentle to him who reviles you, saying to yourself on each occasion, he thought it right. So if a person says something bad about you, it's not necessarily because you are doing something bad, but it's because they think you are doing something bad. The way they interpret your actions, your thoughts, your words, they think that it's something bad. And it's not up to you to think how they think. You can't control how they think. It's not possible for other people to have the exact same viewpoints of things as you. So they are doing what they think is right. According to the Stoics, I think this comes ultimately from Socrates. Everyone does what they think is right. Now, there's some shades of gray there, like what do you mean by right? Well, what's best for them may be another way to think about it. Maybe it's not always perfectly right, but hey, if I steal this candy bar, I get to eat it, and I'm hungry. That seems like a good thing to me. So they do what they perceive to be the best good. And they might think you're doing something wrong. They may be wrong. They may have false opinions. They may not have clear critical thinking skills. And that's why critical thinking is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Being able to critically think and never quite trust yourself. Always say, what if I'm wrong? How might I be wrong? Where are my weaknesses? How can I find them? We can do that to ourselves, but we can't think for others. We can teach others. We can show them errors, but we can't think for them. So, if this person is wrong in their opinion, it is they who are hurt in that our goal as Stoics is to have an opinion that aligns with nature, or to have no opinion at all, but to have our thoughts aligned with reality. And if someone has opinions that are not aligned with reality, then they are hurt in the Stoic sense. They are the ones who are wrong in that sense. And it's not like they're going to be judged for it after death, or that they may never even know that they are wrong, but they are hurt by it in the sense that their ruling faculty is tarnished by this false belief. The last line of this reading, I think, is the most important part. This is the part where we are reminded of one of our principal goals as a Stoic, and that is to be part of the human community. We have to remember that people don't make stupid decisions on purpose. People don't make incorrect decisions on purpose. It's because that's how they see things. It's up to us to teach them the correct way of seeing things. So we shouldn't get mad at people for having incorrect opinions, but we should try to correct them. And if they refuse to be corrected, then we simply attempt to disengage with them or find a workaround, right? We got to find our own way. But we have to remember that people do things because to them it seemed right. This idea stems from all the way back to Socrates, at least, where this notion existed that people do not do wrong on purpose. People do not do evil on purpose. Now, they may choose the best, worst decision available to them, right? If there's a series of options and none of them are good, they'll choose the best one to them. But to us, it may not seem that way. So we have to remember that we are not in other people's heads. They have their own decision-making processes, and they may be just as rational or more rational than we are, but we are unable to see that in our actions because we're off spinning off on our own chain of cause and effect, our drive to work, as it were. I don't know why the drive to work is like the most common Stoic example these days. I do it too. But there we are on our way to work. This person's on their way to wherever. It could be the hospital. It could be to work. It could be to buy cocaine. We don't know. But they cut us off in traffic. And we're like, hey, what's going on? But hey, maybe they have a medical emergency. Maybe they just didn't see us. Maybe they're not trying to be a jerk. We can't figure that out from our position in the car behind them. We should just say, well, to them, this was the right thing to do. I choose not to be harmed by it. I choose to be unharmed by this, and I will move on. If we take every insult, every slight, every inconvenience personally, then that's like a burden that we can never let go of, or we have a hard time letting go of. We're going to lose sleep. We're going to then not think clearly, and therefore we will not be acting virtuously as much as we could have acted had we had a clearer head. So let it go and accept that other people might be right, or at the bare minimum, it seemed right to them at the time. Thanks, everyone, for your support. Remember to like the podcast on whatever platform you listen to. Give it a good rating. Share it. And if you want to support the show, do so at Sunday Stoic. Do so at Patreon. Patreon.com/Sunday Stoic. And if you want to send me $1 for a beer, you can do so on a PayPal. Just use the email address sundaystoic@gmail.com. But also use that email to reach out to me. Say hi, ask questions, tell me what you'd like to see the show do in the future. What can we talk about in the future that you would find useful? For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, I hope you are enjoying your summer. In the Southern Hemisphere, I hope your winter is going well. No matter where you find yourself, make sure to seize the day. Carpe diem.
Thank you for listening to the Sunday Stoic. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team. Earn rewards by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com. And as Steve always says, Carpe diem.
Stoic.